Well, just because it's worked out for me really well, as far as the feeling I get, and I really can't, base it off what other people are reflecting at me, not lately. There's a big shift going on. It's like, well, pull back, and for some reason it's hard to tell, what advice to take, like what is masking, what isn't, what time is it, why. So, but through all of that, we still have our own faculties, and I'm not a biased person, but now it's gotten to this thing where it's looking like, well, okay, no, well, right now, like I said, I've always just had, of course, every individual. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You have your own personal space. You have your own private personal space. It's very true for women. Women, who they are. I mean, their um, their sex. They are in inner space, and the man is out. Is an outie. So that's not an unknown thing. That's something that keeps coming up. And like, well, they are opposites. Well, I'm saying, yeah, well, if they're allowed to have their own space and their own selves, then they're cultivating something about that their makeup that is unique to that their their genre, I guess you would say, or their well, it's way more in detail and something to talk about than just cramming it into 2 minutes already. It's like this is ongoing subject matter, and but only if we don't understand something really simple. And to me, it's like obvious. It's like, uh-oh, somehow we didn't respect separating the two out so that they can gain respect for each other if there was an interest. And that's a very, very tedious subject matter, because all that I can feel right now, especially with this Mars thing, and Mars going into Scorpio, which isn't the bad thing, it's this Mars square Pluto that's giving it a shit kick. And we can see just a certain kind of human, now it's not a man or a woman, that is flaring up, and these are the ones who um, have a power trip and control trip. They're struggling with their mind. Their mind wants power and to be right, and to have that identity of being on top, right? To have control. And there are shades of gray to this stuff. I mean, right now, it's just unfortunate. See, getting back to see, just okay, little old me, obvious, just me here, living here. I have made it to where it's just okay. I prioritize myself, who I am, like what I like. I would rather keep it green. I'd rather harmonize. I would rather not do a lot of the things that everybody thinks that they have to do. Because why? Well, it keeps it green and it keeps it alive. These people want to kill it by what? The work that they think they have to do in their yards, and then following, oh, the fire department? The fire department wants you to get rid of all of your bushes to prevent a fire. And what are you doing there? You're doing exactly what a fire would do. So at one point, you're going to have to use your intuitive, lively selves and say, well, we take our chances wherever we go. Do we call a fire department? Apparently we do. We get car insurance, which that needs to end. Car insurance is the way that they hire tons of different companies. It shouldn't be that. It's just one thing you are concerned about. Is your car going to be replaced after an accident or not? Or are things being replaced under my system, ladies and gentlemen, where there are nobody working for car insurances, no phones being answered. You just put the money over there and you see it's there, and then the socialist system sees that it's time for you to have a car, especially me, by 50, no at-fault accidents, no high record of anything. Where's my new car? Especially because I'm known to have cars for 15 to 20 years, unlike these people cracking them up and just filling up the landfills. When do I get my reward? That's the world I will be going to next. You have to use your imagination and say, fuck you, I know what it's about, and discard your body and go to that place. Yay, there it is. And the place looks amazing. Look at that city. It looks like a flower. Hey, wanted to make this video about, yeah, well, how did the intelligence get such a way that now it's so different than being boxes? And it looks like if you look at some of the cities on a certain time of day, like the ones that are packed with buildings, particularly Mexico, if you go over there and look and you get way up and maybe do a black and white, but it doesn't have to be black and white because it's already black and white. It looks dried out. It looks like parched, dried out skin. And it's just a dried thing. And you can't tell if it's wood or anything, cement or skin. It's just dried, parched. No design, grainy, fuzzy, static. Point being is like, well, yeah, no, if we were really having fun there, it would look differently. The design of the cities would look differently. The way we do things would look. I don't know. I think that that's the truth. So I'm thinking that you can see already evidences of it here on Experiment Project Planet Earth here, where everybody is free to check and see. I mean, is this what's going on? Well, back to my microcosm being what I am is just a good old woman here creating and allowing space for all kinds of intelligences. I notice it's like, whoa, if you have enough of this, just like that post I just posted up here, well, if you have wildflowers over there and you have other nature happening besides for you trying to farm, then there's more of a chance that things will be balancing out, and things that are good for your garden will come over and help out with your garden and go back there and it'll switch around, and that's what happens with me here. See, with the fucking tractoring that's going on over there, they just destroyed. I know that place has never had a tractor go through it in not 35 years that I knew, not the whole time that I've ever been here, babes. And so now the burrows that I think they live underground they are ladybug burrows. Just that much more have been destroyed in my property, in my area. So those chimneys are subdued there, and my garden depend on those chimneys to emerge, because after a while, in the beginning you can see aphids are starting to eat things, but then the chimneys of ladybugs emerges, and then they come over and eat all the aphids, and everything balances out. What's going to happen now? See, this is the trippy thing. I know I'm talking a rambling, babe, but this is real. For me, it is. Having a great grandpa who was half Osage, Native American Indian, whatever that means, just whoever was on this continent first. I have that blood, a little tinge of it in me, and so I'm looking at these people around me who I don't know who the fuck they are, but it's like, okay, so are you the one that's just going to war against me, like the Native American who says, "Fuck you and your clean waters, and we like to drink blood"?